go. The name is Law Nation. Let's get it. Appreciate it all. Got news. It's no Von Miller. No Miller time for your mind. I get it. I feel you. They say you don't want to go into bidding wars for a 33-year-old guy, basically. It's the Jones way, baby. Come on. That's the Cowboys way, right? Well, the information that rules the nation coming to you live from Law Nation Studios. Yup. Come on. Hey. Ho. They say, really, ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about this Law Nation party, baby? Pull your strap on me, you better kill me. My fofo make sure all your kids won't grow, huh? That's my inner Tupac. Let's go. We live, baby. Building the plane while it's in the air. Imitated but never duplicated. It's yours truly, Law Nation. Let's go. I'm my own DJ, baby. Yo, giving it to you, raw and uncut. Yeah. Cowboy Nation.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Yeah, it is what it is, baby. It is what it is. Life like this, I wish raindrops would fall. I can't make this up. Turn me up again. Yeah. Say it again.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Yeah. Oh, man, so many L's, baby. Oh, my goodness. The Cowboys front office basically said, man, we can't outbid, man, the champs. We can't. That's the news of the hour. It was like literally, I'm sitting here watching Ian Rappaport saying that, hey, they are willing to throw money back at, dare I say, Von Miller. And sometimes they use the Cowboys as leverage, right? Or, you know, they will say, hey, I like this particular team. I would love to play for this particular team. I grew up watching the Cowboys with the silver and blue. I had a baseball cap with the star on the hat. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, you know, when it's time for that ink on paper, you know, I see what the Jones is doing over there, but they say that it's not that fun, you know? Well, Chris said, man, we keep getting lipstick on a pig. You ain't lying. It basically went like this. It went like this. We got breaking news out of L.A. that it appears that the Rams are really thinking about bringing back Von Miller. And according to certain sources, the Cowboys said they can't fight like that. No, they're not getting into bidding wars. And by them sitting on their hands, Chandler Jones went away. We still got a big voided spot as it relates to defensive edge guys. And my guy Patrick Thompson said, hey, Baby Nuts Jones, I feel you. I feel you. Ain't nothing we can do at this point but sit back and just chill. Because either we're going to look like we're whiny, crying fans, or we're going to be sitting there knowing that this is just how the Jones family operate and roll. So somebody said, oh, let me put this up a little bit. Oh, my gosh, man. Cowboy. So, Demarcus Lawrence, he went on, you know, All Things Covered podcast. Shout out to those guys, Brian McFadden, as well as Patrick Peterson, he went to go talk about, just kicking it for like 40 minutes to an hour. They was just kicking it and chilling and talking about, life and plan. And also they talked about the contract. They mentioned Von Miller. They also talked about Randy Gregory, who pretty much, if you look at everything and contextualize it, it seems as if though he had an axe to grind with the Jones family, but that's a story of a different day. And basically, they went into details about the contract. And at this point, it muddied the waters because pretty much D-Law, the tankster, said basically Stephen Jones offered him a 1-year deal for $10 million. And he looked at Stephen Jones and he said, well, you know what? If you're going to try to paint me into a corner like that,
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
that's literally what he told Stephen Jones. I can go kick rocks and go find another team that would be willing to give me money, remunerations, the paper, But here's the thing. Stephen Jones said, you know what? Let me get my dad on the phone. Daddy gonna get you right, but Daddy ain't gonna be happy because he gave you $65 million. In D-Law, I can only imagine. Shout out to the Laws. Said gave. I was the one out there on the field. I was the one that had to have back surgery. I also had to have cleanup surgery in my shoulder and everything else. I was the one. Regardless, he didn't give us 14 or 10 sacks. But he was saying, I was the one that was out there. Not your daddy, not you either, right? And that's how grown men conversate, right? And then Stephen Jones said, hey, just calm down, pepper down a little bit. Let me go get my dad. Let me get Dad on the phone. Dad got the phone and said, what the hell in tarnation is going on, son? And he said, well, I offered D-Law $10 million and he refused to take it. Where?
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
And then all of a sudden, Jerry Jones, he loved the people he drafted. And you got to add the extra spices and sauces to everything and knowing that, hey, he's a Boise State guy, right? I can't make this up. I can't, Cowboy Nation. I really can't. So it went from 10 million for 1 year to 40 million, Hey, people say, oh man, that was just a tactical approach from Stephen Jones to go back to his father about the contract. But I don't know about you guys, but $10 million is far from 40. Juxtaposed to, it's like me going into the office saying, hey, I got a $150,000 annual salary. I quit, I'm gonna go try somewhere else. And then they say, well, Law, I tell you what, here's $2 million, that would be amazing if I can get $2 million a year just to do the job that I was doing, and I was making $150,000. I was trying to make it relatable to everybody that's watching. But neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. That's how that happened. And the Cowboys, I said earlier, let me pull this up. Let's pull it up raw. Over the cap.com, and we go to cap space right here. Oh, look who you came to see, everybody. The Cowboys, shout out to Tony Baker. $26 million available for us to go out there and be fruitful and multiply the Cowboy Nation. We got $26 million. Now, the Raiders, they went out and got Chandler Jones because they know for sure that money that you're trying to save ain't going to help you, right? It's not like you get rollover money to say, okay, we're going to put this on the next budget line. No, you try to win now. You ain't trying to win 4 years from now. I'm trying to win now. So that's what the Raiders did. So they took some of that money and got Chandler Jones, right? And we can't outperform or outbeat a team that got only $606,000 in the kitty. Come on, man. Y'all see the Rams, they way down here. And let me pull up, Ian Rappaport. allegedly. You know, none of this is factual until we get ink on paper. None of this. None of this. But here it is. In the next pass rush world, the Rams, #Rams, are working to bring pass rusher Von Miller back. Sources say nothing is done. Other teams are still pushing, but they are convinced he's headed back to the champs. I hate saying that word, the champs, but they are the champs. And Von Miller started having to move. And we go back to, I think, my tweet, laugh out loud. We, #Cowboys, have more cap space than the Rams, but they can beat out them for Von Miller. They can't. We can't do it. And then this is what James Slater was saying. Don't get your hopes up. Cowboy Nation reported this morning that the Cowboys didn't seem to think that they could beat out the Rams here. That's the reality of it. That is the reality of it, Cowboy Nation. Now, I did mention this. Pull up PFF right here. Let's pull that up, and we're gonna type in. Shout out to Elijah Elliott. We can put up Jadeveon Clowney. He's still out there on the market. I don't know what he's asking for, but he had 24 solo tackles last season, 5 assists, 2 forced fumbles, and 11 sacks. Let me see how many pressures. Total pressure 53. So far, Jadeveon is the last of the semi-good edge rushers that you can get with experience, by the way. And I think he was a past first-round draft pick or something like that way many moons ago. But on his last leg, he's been bounced to multiple teams. If you look at his skill set, it's similar to D-Law, right? His skill set is similar to D-Law. Jadeveon Clowney is no one to sneeze at against the run. For a cup of coffee, Cowboys can draw up something, and that's why I tweeted out this earlier. Let me see if I can go back to my post here and say, okay, Cowboys, front office, get out of your feelings. Get back to work. You're sitting on $26 million. Go get a deal and make sure it's ink on paper, you know. And that's how this thing goes. The other kid, he done signed somewhere, Uchina or something like that. I think that's how you say that man's name. I think he signed already. I used to be a door-to-door salesman in Mississippi many a moons ago, real long time ago, Toshiba. And I worked for Pitney Bowes. It was like a buyout. So it went from Osage, North America to Pitney Bowes, or Pitney Bowes to Osage, North America. Then I went and worked with a company called Toshiba. Door-to-door business. Good salary, by the way, in Mississippi. And I would never forget the manager and the general manager of that region. You know, I covered all 82 counties in Mississippi, and, you know, it was hot and bubbly. And we used to have to forecast, budget and forecast with an analysis and everything. And going door to door taught me one thing, that you better make sure that you cover your base because you had a quota. It's high salary job, but you had a quota. The quota was monthly, I believe, at the time, quarterly, was $75,000, right? Give or take. And you had to go literally door to door, knocking every door, every floor. You start on a high-rise building, you knock on every door and every floor. Regardless of what you do, it's hot, it's bubbly. You got a 3-piece suit on, right? People thought I was a Muslim. People thought I was a Jehovah's Witness for the business crew. You know, no, I'm going door to door. I'm trying to sell you something. I'm trying to get something out of the mud. And regardless of how my day went, whether it was raining, snow, sleet, you know, you can have all of those weathers in Mississippi, regardless of the day. That's why I got this saying, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. And baby, they got a place in Mississippi called Eupora, Mississippi. You still had to go in there and knock on every door and drive down a rocky road to get off of that, to get on a dirt road to get off of that, and still knock on every door. And you will have the conversation of, hey, these clients are willing to go with this deal. And you have to bring out transcripts of the contract upon contract upon contract. But one thing that I made sure, yeah, Muslim law, yeah, young Merc was good. One thing I made for sure is when I got back to the office, then I forecasted my money, 150,000 quarter sales or what have you. And the manager would look me right in the eyes and say, yeah, that's good, Law, yeah. Yeah, my voice did crack a little bit. Ain't there something, Caden? But yeah, it's back now. But yeah, and the manager would say, yeah, that's good forecasting, Law. It's good that you're close to this deal. But do you have any ink on paper? Because what I've learned, don't matter how many doors I knocked on and every no that I got, it was closer to a yes. No. Get out of here. Scram. We don't like you kind of right here. Get out of here. Scram. I was in Grenada, Mississippi. Get out of here, What's going on with you? It's crazy, man. We don't want your business, But that front office was like, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter, Law. Do you have ink on paper? But I said, nah, this is a good church, man. The gatekeeper, she's really nice. She smelled like roses in the morning. But although she looked like a pit bull, man, she got a pretty smile, It was no problem getting around, the gatekeeper. Dazzle them with brilliancy. Baffling them with BS. That was my game. Oh, that's a nice tie you have, sir. Where'd you get that tie from? Hey, by the way, my name is Law, I come here, I got printer fax copy machines. This is my thing. Are you better for the environment? Yes. Well, let me show you about this printer that can print 100 pages a minute. I got inside. Whoa, everybody. But until I got the ink on paper, it didn't mean a hill of beans. One deal, you can eat off of it for the whole year. The Cowboys have not sold nothing all this offseason. Didn't make a deal, but they did sign their own. That's good. It's good to flex inside your office, but when you going to get ink on paper for somebody on the outside to come in to make that can be a difference? And one of the things that I do know for sure, if you're really grinding and if you're really working, you're not in the bed at 11 o'clock. You're not in the bed at 10. Sometimes you got to get up early before the sun rise and make those hard, cold calls before you drive all the way out there. And the Dallas Cowboys, for many and many of off seasons, decided to, hey, let's stay in bed. Let's not worry about this deal. Let's wait because we can get a sweeter deal after the draft. But I come here to tell y'all, some of y'all not even going to like me, but this is good stuff. This is good stuff. It may help you out. The last 10 teams that won the Super Bowl, they wheeled and dealed in the free agency. And no one can out-debate me with that because those are facts. They won it via the free agency. They brought in some different makers. They made the power play to get maybe one or two guys that can make an impact. It's always quality over quantity. So the Cowboys need to roll up their sleeves, get out of the bed, get the sleep out of their eyes, and even if it's a wholesale change and have a come-to-Jesus meeting between the Jones family and Will McClay, good old Willie, and say, Willie, we love your scouting acumen. We love your evaluation of talent. But now it's time for us to be one of those teams that can really propel ourselves and dance better in the free agency. That is the reality. So it won't be, oh, let me pass this on to daddy. Oh, let me work this out with father, And sometimes we're looking at Stephen Jones. He looks just as old as Jerry Jones. This is stressing the man out. He need to sit back and chill and relax just a little bit, right? What is the cap? We got 20 $26 million. All right, the total cap space is 208. No team can be over that number that I highlighted in blue. So right now, Cowboys are $26 with $26 million available funds. The richest team right now, the Colts, they got 54. And they will calibrate and update by the end of the day, and we will really have all raw numbers. So that is the situation that the Cowboys must figure out. They must figure out a way to circumvent that voided area. But let's listen to this audio before I go into more details of bashing my own team that I love because of the front office. Y'all know how this goes. But let's listen to the audio for those who didn't get a chance to hear the audio. Shout out to All Things Covered. They did a wonderful podcast on this one.
I went up there and seen him. He was like,
let me know if y'all
all
can
right,
hear
we're gonna try to get close to your number. So don't get mad at me. We good, but don't get mad at me if you see a number, or something that you don't like or whatever. So I was like, all right, I got you. So he sent me over a number. And I'm like, man, what is this shit, bro? Like why are y'all sitting here playing with me? Understanding like, shoot, I got a family to raise, shoot, I'm not gonna sit here and be transporting my family all across the world, just because of my profession. You feel me? So I was like, all right, bet. I'm gonna just have to send all on the email and let them know.
Hey, Tank, what was the first number?
What was it?
You don't want to know, man. It's disrespectful. I feel like it's disrespectful to me, and also disrespectful for what I did, for the Dallas Cowboys.
Let us hear the number. What the number was?
1 year, $10 million.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did a great job in negotiating a better deal based on what you got. And for our listeners and viewers don't know exactly what Tank just received, you can go ahead and find out easily. But yeah, wow.
All right, so before, I heard multiple people that was in my chat said, hold on, Law. You mean to tell me that D-Law can't feed his family with $10 million for 1 year? You're right, People got expensive appetites. And you're right, he should be able to manage and spend, and spend his money wisely and be able to raise his family with $10 million. But here's the thing. To us as people, some people get a check in the mail, $10,000. Man, that's life-changing money. $100,000, life-changing money. $1 million. Oh, man, that's generational wealth to some people. But when you made over $1 million in your lifespan, and I'm not trying to make the justification for the nation, right? But if Jerry Jones woke up with D-Law's money, he would probably jump out of the he'd jump into the helicopter, fly to the highest point, and he wake up with D-Law money, he would probably jump out of it. He'll jump out of it while the helicopter is still flying. Because he said, I'm broke, I can't live with this, and ask somebody to shoot him before he hit the ground. So that is the reality of it. Yes, it's a lot of money to a common man, but somebody if they used to live in a certain style and a life way, no, $10 million for what I do, sun up to sundown, no. That's disrespectful from what he perceived out of respect. That's just how it goes. That's how it goes. If that's the case in the scenario, money answereth all things. That's what the good book said, and I read with my eyes. It didn't say some things. It didn't say maybe. But for the love of money is the root of all evil, but they fail to realize when they read a little further, it answereth all things. I digress.
So you told him it was disrespectful, and then what happened?
Yeah, I felt like it was disrespectful, and I told him like, hey man, Cowboys did a lot for me. I thank y'all for everything y'all done, but I think it's time for us to part ways. I wish that y'all cut me, and Steven's like, all right, I'm about to bring your offer to Jerry, see what he says. But I'm pretty sure, he's going to be pretty pissed about it because he just gave you $65 million.
He didn't give me nothing.
So my response was like, he ain't give me shit, I earned it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if Jerry wants to keep me here, like, he has to understand that this is what I'm worth. And plus, I'm actually showing love and helping y'all out. You know what I mean? Like, by offering y'all the relief and cap space, by doing this deal with me. So, like, let's go out here and let's have a fruitful, free agency, pick up the guys that we need in order to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because if I ain't getting this number, I won't be here to help.
So, and shout out to you, Javion Jones. At the Law Nation, the Cowboys are showing interest. And what's his name? Za'Darius. What's his man's name? I forgot his name. Smith. Za'Darius. Is it Za'Darius or Za'Darius? Za'Darius Smith. God dog, I butchered that man's name. He had back surgery, and he didn't perform up or live up to the level of what we thought that we were going to be able to see out of him in Green Bay. The last time I remember Za'Darius, man, I'm butchering this man's name, was when we played against him, I believe, in 2019. But I'll pull it up per Calvin Watkins. Appreciate Calvin Watkins, man, for doing all of the hard work and heavy lifting. But here's the thing. You going door to door. Look at me. I'm live. Let me just refresh that. Look, I'm live on Twitter, too. Y'all check it out. All right, so let me go here. Calvin Watkins. Cowboys sources says teams like Von Miller, who doesn't right, but no offers presented to him yet. Cowboys have interest in re-signing Dorrance Armstrong. I thought they already re-signed him. All right, so here's what you're talking about. Cowboys doing their due diligence on plenty of players, but there is a legit interest in Za'Darius Darius Smith, a source said, had back issues. It's something that will be looked at. And let me get here. It is. And that appears to me, a buffer, because they hear and they know of the news that Chandler Jones gone, right? You got Jadeveon Clowney that a lot of people are iffy with that because he played for multiple teams. So there may be an issue there within the last 4 or 5 years. Like Jadeveon Clowney played for at least 6 or 7 teams almost. So somebody is not really connecting, right? But I think that when healthy, Za'Darius had at least 20, maybe 27 to 28 sacks. Let me see if I can pull him up in the past 2 years when healthy. Za'Darius. There we go. It's Zaw. Appreciate you, man. I'm a hooked on phonics legend over here. You leave me alone. All right, shout out to Mississippi. All right. He had 0 sacks last season. All right, so how many snaps he had? How many reps? Okay, 9 reps. Okay, so that's not enough. Okay, so he injured all last season. All right, so 2020, the pandemic year, he had 13 sacks. Okay. And I believe in 2019 he had a good sack level, 16. Boy, what would we do to have 16 sacks, baby? Oh, my goodness, that'll work. But we going all the way back to 2019. And then 2018 he had 10 of them. Let me pull up all of okay. So he's a double-digit sack guy when healthy. Now he's a big boy now, Let me see. He's 6'4", 272. That's a big dude. And he ran a 4.8. To put that in perspectives, he ran a 4.8. And, we're not counting 40 times. But there's a guy that's coming out for this draft in the year 2022 that this guy is like 6'6", 6'7", 340, and he runs a 4.7. I ain't going to say his name, but you guys got to do your own homework on that guy. And he's rushing from the interior. But, Za'Darius is pretty good. Kelly Price, shout out to you. He says why Cowboys always go after broke players. The broker the player, the lesser the money. Have you ever seen, like, you go to a store and you're looking to purchase something, especially like a TV and display item only, and I had to get a TV for my outdoor patio, and it was 45. It looks good, but it was the display model. I didn't want to put the new TV outside. So by it being the display, been touched, some parts of it missing, it don't have all of the stuff, and you get it at a cheaper rate. But you can negotiate that. So you see, they were trying to sell it to me at a higher price, and I said, look, come here, manager. All I need, then I put the Stephen Jones on them. All I need is a TV that's going to be big enough to fit outside on the patio. Not nothing to, just in case if Tyrone or Ashaniqua or somebody or Tommy jumped the gate and try to steal my TV, I wouldn't miss it, Let me get that model right there. What you mean? Nah, let me get that one right there. What you mean? We don't sell the display model. Come on, man. I know you do, man. Look at your last shrink report. I know you're trying to get out of the bottom line stuff. I tell you what. The TV on the floor that's in the box is XYZ. Let me tell you this. Let me give you an extra $100, but at this rate. The general manager like, yeah, we normally don't. And I say, hey, I'll take it as is. And then before you know it, breaking news out of Walmart All-Star. Law Nation have him a 45-inch TV. A display model. It's still good. It don't have his legs, but he told the guy that he's going to hang it himself on the wall outside. Law Nation got his 45-inch TV at a good price because I hustled. I knocked him down, baby. Because I refused to buy a spank new TV to put outside that I'm only going to be out there when I'm, on the grill, on the ones and twos. That's what Stephen Jones do, If it's broken, it's more pique his interest, right? If it have a behavioral problem, that really tickle his fancy. No stretch of my mind and imagination that Malik Hooker, when he saw that Hooker, let me clear it up. When he saw Malik Hooker, he was like, man, I can rehabilitate him. Y'all saw how I cleared that up a little bit? Don't tell your mama, don't tell the kids that loud cussing. I said Malik Hooker. And when he saw that Hooker, hey, boy, he got fixated on him, and he said, you know what? That's a good deal for us in the Cowboys because I believe that I can refurbish that and I can rehabilitate that and I can make this guy an all-star. And he hit because Malik Hooker, my guy, Nobody jumping that TV. Look, Monty said, nobody jumping that fence to steal your TV, Law. Nah, they gonna jump the fence. They just look at that TV and say, nah, man, let me jump back over, Oh, buddy. But shout out to Stephen Jones. You win some, you lose some, Oh, my gosh, man. Y'all ain't gonna like me today, baby. But it is what it is. That's why the Cowboys go after the low-hanging fruit. We got Rabbi, man. What's good with you for the donation to help elevate the nation? Let the AI speak.
What up, Law? Get Steven out the front office or it's gonna be a Luke season. Go Cowboys.
No doubt. Let me say this one thing right here. And Pete says, shout out to you, Pete. He said he don't want Clowney too many injuries. Better be careful, man. He might be right up the alley. Keep saying that he got too many injuries. We'll fool around and have Za'Darius Smith and Jadeveon Clowney. Both on this team. And shoot, that's covering the spread, One go down, at least you got another one. Oh, that's what we did with DeMonte KZ and Hooker. Think about it. KZ was coming off of an ACL tear, right? Price tag went way down. And they probably squeezing DeMonte KZ now, saying, man, we would like to bring you back. But we got so much, man. $26 million, man. We got to pay the people that we don't know who we going to draft yet, man. That's $26 million, man. And Tony Pollard, we got to figure out his contract. And we just paid Noah Brown that money. And we got to figure out how we going to save money for CeeDee Lamb. So this $26 million is very precious. So what we going to do, DeMonte KZ, after the draft, you feel free to go hit the market. But after the draft, just hang around. Here's my phone number. Don't lose it now. But we got $26 million. and you know, these are the guys. Dak Prescott, he's counting his base salary is $1.6 million for right now. But, you know, he got an $18 million prorated, and we pushed his money back. So when it's time for us to re-up him, and we got Ezekiel Elijah Elliott, man, we paying a lot of money, a $12.4 million base, and he got a $5.8 million signing bonus that's going to kick in. It's prorated, right? Based upon on the snaps that he play out of. And we got hosed by Randy Gregory. Our feelings are still hurt because he went to go to Denverland because of the language on the contract. Y'all hear it? So what we going to do to save more money, this is the first day that we can cut La'el Collins. Designated to be a post-June 1 cut and save, I think it's saving $10 million because for a trade right now, you're only recouping $1.3 million. The only value that you can get from trading La'el Collins right now, if you find an idiot, right, to give us 2 first-round draft picks, man, I will walk that contract and make sure they sign it if we can find somebody that can give us 2 first-round draft picks for La'el Collins. But to save $1.3 million or to even save $10 million, I don't care if he have like they said, something wrong with his hip that is not going to be performing the way it's supposed to be for La'el Collins. I don't care if his hip fall off, the meat fall off the bone, of the hip. You will not find pretty much a guard or a tackle in the 4th or the 5th round that's better. You can't paint that picture to law, So they're going to have to will and deal better, basically. That's all I'm saying, Cowboy Nation. Should trade Dak for Watson. This is from D. Rose. Well, Dak Prescott and his agent smarter than all of you guys that say that. There's a no-trade clause. A no-trade clause on Dak Prescott contract. So kiss that ideal goodbye, So let's say this together. The next person say trade Ray Dakota Prescott. Just remind them that in his contract, there's a no-trade clause in his contract, right? You can't trade him, even if you wanted to, unless it's something that he desire to remove and overlook that and say, you know what? All right, cool. I'm willing to get out of here at all costs. So remove that out of your mind. And if you like another quarterback outside of Dak Prescott, then just go root for them. Be that quarterback of that team fan. Because it may be, what's the year is? The year 2022? It'll be the end of this decade before Dak Prescott is gone from this team. So if you're going to cry about the sun being the sun and the moon coming around, it's the equivalent of you saying, look, I got to leave this planet because I'm tired of this sun. And the sun ain't going nowhere. It's the equivalent to Dak Prescott. He ain't going nowhere. All right, you can put a designation, designated to be a post-June cut today, I believe. That's just how it goes. Shout out to you, Brian Bradford. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in. All right, so did I play the rest of that audio? Did I play the rest of it when he said, I want to go to – you better go to your daddy. You better go to your daddy. Let me see if I can do this. Let me find this audio. Shout out to them. Here we go. Here we go right here.
I won't be here to help.
Yeah.
And shoot, Jerry's like, man, shoot, D-Law been faithful to us for the last 7-8 years. Like, give him his damn money.
Jerry came in and got it straight, huh?
Jerry came and got it straight, man.
Daddy had to come in. and trust me, shut up, stop laughing, dude. And this is the thing. Here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. You guys want this.
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Here's the thing. When Jerry is leaving this dimension, he going to another plane, right? Because we don't die, we just transfer. We energy. We are balls of energy, right? Can never be created nor destroyed, just transferred. So when Jerry transferred to another thing, right? And there's nobody else that you can run to. Boy, oh boy, we're going to see Stephen Jones running this. And he can't run to this daddy. So I can't wait. No, I can't say that. I can't say that. Well, we all going to wait to see how this thing going to all manifest itself into whatever it may become. And that's the craziest thing. All right, so I'm going to touch on this just a little bit. But before we do such, appreciate you, Phil, for the 200 stars on the Facebook groove. Thank you. And here we go from Jason.
What do you feel Za'Darius would command salary-wise? I'd prefer him over Vaughn since he's 29. Also, do you think it's a possibility to sign a pass rusher and Wags?
With $26 million, I appreciate you, Jason. I really do think that Bobby Wagner will help this team out tremendously. Even if in a pinch we go and re-up Dorrance Armstrong, right? And we say, okay, it's your world now. Jerry been speaking glowingly of you for the last 3 or 4 years now, 3 years now. You was a guy that even Will McClay spoke glowingly of coming out of the draft or what have you. And we saw some splash plays from you. In 2020, they had you dropping off in coverage. And we were saying, like, come on, D. What you doing, D.A.? But D.A. played pretty well. So if we go into this mindset of picking up Bobby Wagner, hear me out, Cowboy Nation, and with the other piece of money, if you go in the cheap route, cheap way, and you re-up J-Ron Curse, okay? That could mean that, hey, now we can get what we all want. On certain downs, you just kick Parsons back on the edge, right? And you can keep that continuity or that infrastructure in the middle with Bobby Wagner. So that could be possible. Now, as far as Za'Darius being better than Von Miller, or what was the question again? Let me see. Read it again, AI. Say it again for me, lady.
What do you feel Za'Darius would command salary-wise? I'd prefer him over Vaughn since he's 29. Also, do you think it's a possibility to sign a pass rusher and Wags?
Okay, I got it. That back, man, they say, look, old folks, man, when that back go bad, it just seems like they don't bounce back, And I know D-Law had his back surgery or what have you. He came back flying. But when you look at it, and when you look into it, the totality of it, like toes, you look at the totality of it, right? That back, we don't know how it's going to snap back. And although he's younger, that back, that's the only thing. And as the edge guy, and the way he come off the edge, he used power, bull rush, not a lot of bend. He's a hand technician guy, If I can do a film session at him, you guys would say, man, he kind of rush off the edge like a more along the lines of a Greg Ellis type, But, him versus Von Miller. I looked at this and I said it last night on the final word that, yeah, Von Miller can give you that band and what have you, but you're looking for Von Miller for one. If you sign Za'Darius, you're looking for a 3. So that's how it goes. But that back, baby, out where you pick up something wrong, it goes crazy. But speaking of that, I'm only going to touch on this briefly, and I know it's water under the bridge, but I want some transparency on the way that this guy broke it down, and we're going to touch on it. We're going to listen to 105.3 version of it as well. But let's listen to Andrew.
As someone who negotiated for a team for 10 years, we tried to have the same language in all the contracts. That's very important, that you can go to any player agent and say the language is in this contract or that contract. It's going to be in all the contracts. Standard across the league for forfeiture is usually suspensions will bring about forfeiture of future guarantees. So future guarantees will be voided if you have a suspension. Evidently, the Cowboys have language in their contracts that says future guarantees will be voided upon a fine. That is unique. Anyway, they tried to insert that in Randy Gregory's contract, and he went the other way, and lo and behold, the Broncos are not going to insert that. It turns out the Cowboys, when asked about it, said it is in every contract, but Dak Prescott. So they made an exception for Prescott, but they say it is in every contract. The key here is free agency. Were Gregory only negotiating with the Cowboys, of course they could get that in and say, hey, Prescott's a special situation, he's the quarterback, etc. You have to sign this language because every other player does. But we're in free agency, it's the Wild West, so if he doesn't like that language, there are other suitors, and one of those suitors, the Broncos, in addition to perhaps others, is saying, you don't have to sign that. We don't have that kind of language. We have forfeiture language only that voids guarantees upon suspension, or maybe even not. So the free agency is the Wild West, which is why, of course, if you're managing a team, don't let your players get to this position where the market forces are controlling your contract, not yourself controlling your contract. So that's Randy Gregory. I hope that explains things. Again, free agency, don't believe what you see. Sometimes in terms of contracts, the only real money is the guarantee. It's usually 2 years for the best players, and then we'll see after that. It's not what they appear to be. I'll try to give you more information as we go on about these contracts and free agency in the NFL. Have a great night.
All right, so basically, Andrew talked about forfeitures. And basically, yes, the language is in most contracts, and it's for fines. It's for suspensions, not fines. And fines are very fickle because we know how fines go. And even though with the Randy Gregory fiasco and them in the NFL removing these suspensions, if you really do this,
smoke weed every day.
They removed the suspensions of that. But if you read the CBA agreement, Cowboy Nation and everybody that's listening, the fines are still attached. So if I fool around, go into practice, and I'm smelling like that ganja kush, strawberry. I said, man, you smelling like strawberry, man. Dog, you got that kush on you. And they say, hey, man, come on to the office right quick, man. Hey, I get it, dog, But, man, what is going on?
Smoke weed every day.
We're going to have to fine you. Now, you don't get suspended, but we're going to have to fine you. They can take all of the guarantees away from you. And even they got a policy at hand that they can go in and say the money that we already paid you based upon this contract, we need that back, But, as far as the Denver Broncos, they said, you know what, we're not even going to hold weight to that. We're going to put this big old black marker and scrape that off. But I tell people a lot of times, people do what they want to do. And sometimes, you can overlook a certain situation. You could be dating somebody and you can overlook the fact that, oh, man, she was bad back in the day. She don't got no edges. But, man, that's okay, man. I don't care about the hair. I love the heart. You still date her, still be with her, Some people can overlook it. But some people, man, and I'm just talking about the females, the ladies, if they don't have those edges, that could be a deal breaker. Right? That could be the deal breaker. Like, nah, man, you know, she ain't got no edges, man. Why you drop her, man? Hey, man, her edges, man. I'll never forget the movie back in the day, Boomerang. And his dude name was Marcus. And he was a player. He was smooth with it. And Marcus would have multiple girls, but one thing was the deal breaker for him was the feet. You know, if she had bad feet, man, he would that'd be a deal breaker for him. You know, rolling reviews. I tell you, she said no edges, no edges, no law, right? But Marcus on Boomerang, he was like, man, he said I would never, ever think that she would have hammer times in the feet. And then I forgot old boy. I don't know. His name wasn't Gerard, but it was Marcus Lawrence. It was Martin Lawrence, and he said, "Dog it, Marcus. You don't make love to the feet, you know, cankles, you know." You know, some deal breakers. But, you know, sometimes it don't matter if they have hammer time in the feet. You going to be like, you know what? I'm going to be with that girl because I like her. You know, she can have hammer times in the feet. And that's what old boy was saying, you know, Martin Lawrence. That's what he was saying. Oh, my gosh, man. Classic movie, by the way. Some people are like, what? What is Boomerang, Law? Some people can't catch that, you know, but that's okay. Go watch Boomerang. And when you watch it, speaking of TVs, Boomerang, Marcus was the first guy to have a flat TV hung on a wall, by the way. Go watch it. You know, somebody going to be like, nah, he couldn't have had a flat TV in 1983. Yeah, he was the first one. That's how smooth and how player he was. You know, go watch it, you know. All right, back to this point right here. Let's listen to this video from I Am Athlete. And these boys right here did a good job on explaining all of that, you know. Not about the hammer time in your feet, but how these boys get down.
I got suspended 9 games.
Listen.
There's language in your contract that you don't know, that your agent thinks will never
get to that.
Come to life.
Mm-hmm.
There's language in your contract where if you get in trouble and you get suspended, you 3-4 years into this contract, they can come back and take percentage of your signing bonus back.
Get it?
I got hit with the fine out the gate, just what I got hit with for the games. Then they hit me for another 1.3 because there was language in my contract that said that they could. When I got fined, I lost the money for the 9 games. Then they decided to exercise a clause in my contract for another 1.3. Right? Because when I come back, they're paying me like a top 5 linebacker in the NFL. Right. But I've been gone 9 weeks. Are you the DJ that we paid? Are you in shape? Are you mentally there? Week 7, you get to get back into the facility. I need film, I need this, I need to study, I need to whatever. For the first 2 weeks, Wesley Woodyard, my dog, he giving me game film, whatever. The coaches is vibing with me, they filling me in. We got Peyton Manning.
Right.
We get on the road, we start winning. It's week 3. Wood, what a film at so I can study?
Yeah.
Because Wood playing my position. So they get to the point where like, damn, like we can do this thing without him. So when I get back week 7, I remember like it's yesterday, I'm walking out to the field.
Get him.
My agent had just told me, yo, just to let you know, they exercised their right to take another 1.3 and it's incentive-based. This is stuff that players don't know.
Get him.
So I'm like, all right. Elway put his arm around me. He walked me out to the field. He said, yo, DJ, listen, just letting you know, I'm a ball player, ball guy, like whatever.
Right.
Look, we exercise the right. I want to be here to tell you up front, whatever. Here's why we did it. We did it because we want to make sure that you come back in shape and you're the same guy that we decided to pay X for. Because you've missed basically 2.5 months. And hold on, and here's the incentives.
Get him.
It was something to where we had to win it. My incentives were we had to win the game and I had to play 45% of the downs. right?
They control it.
They control it. So I'm like, all right, it's Gucci.
Gucci.
When I was in the offseason, I came back to Miami. I did my whole training here.
He's trying to get
Coach
his
Swayze,
he's trying to get his guaranteed money
so
back.
the first week we get back, I don't make the 45% of the downs. We win the game. I ate that. All right, that's $270,000. But I proved to them within that game and in practice that I can go. It wasn't until the second week that I realized that they were like, why would we be giving this guy this extra $270,000 a game if we winning?
Bingo.
Then I realized that they purposefully, I don't even know if that's a word, that thing got twisted, right? That thing got twisted. It's the McDonald's fries, right? No, there's somebody up in the box counting my plays.
Facts. Yeah.
Counting my plays.
Get him.
Knowing the percentages. Also looking at the game if we're going to win. And after the third game back, I realized I ain't getting this money back.
You ain't getting that money back, dog.
Not. And so from a business aspect is, I pay you for a certain amount, right? Ocho, 8, 10 catches a game, 100, whatever yards, that's what I want. At a bare minimum. And I'm in a little group chat with some of my dogs, and they're not in the league, so they ain't really make money like this.
Right.
But the owners, I said, you don't understand, dog. These billionaires, they fight and they scrap for every penny. That's why they billionaires. It wasn't Bruce Arrington. So when he quit and he walked out on the field and he lost it, the dogs that's going to always have his back is who he hurt.
Who he hurt, yo.
Them up in the exec, I get me another, don't come out here and catch 100 balls. Right? They don't feel it at all. Like, you a clown, you look stupid. But he put himself in that situation.
All right, so that's enough of that one. But, man, you guys get how this thing goes, man. And old boy was spitting the truth over here. But while that was going on, there was some according to Jory Epstein, the Tennessee Titans released Julio Jones, baby. He come to the Cowboys, baby. Let me pull it up right quick. Jory, let me see what we have here. Look who you came to see. What about Julio Jones, Cowboy Nation, to pair up with CD for TD and Simi Fihoko and Noah Brown, Let me know what y'all think about Julio. Yeah. Julio with the silver and blue on. And we can roll tide this thing all the way, baby, until Michael Gallup get ready. Julio don't want to be in Dallas. This is Perez. I feel you. Well, Julio got to get him a job somewhere now. He's on the street. He's a designated cut too. So now you can sit back and wait and say, all right, we can go through this draft, right? And we can draft whoever we want. But then we still going to have to fill that void. So
breaking news.
I see a lot of people, say, look, we are literally, and I know somebody said Julio is washed, but if you can get it for dirt cheap, come on. All right, so let me pull up Julio. What was his numbers last year, man? Julio Jones. All right, he had 31 receptions. Okay, 1 touchdown, 434 yards, baby. All right, 46 targets. So the targets to reception ratio, that's not bad at all. How many snaps he's had last season? Where my snap count at? Snap count. Where are you? Passer rating when targeted, 86.7. He had 3 drops last season. I don't see a snap count. I may have to go to another platform to see a snap count. Targets, reception. All right, so he didn't play a lot because we know he's been battling with some injuries. Let's see, he did the previous year, 65, 51 receptions. Meh. 99 receptions. That was good. That was way in 2019. Boy, how time flies. What do y'all think, man? You got you a veteran wide receiver on the market. Julio going to the Saints. Julio was injured half of the season. Yeah, I see that. Julio was, I see that. And what we got right here. Shout out to y'all for the donation. Let's go.
Can we just be honest and say we are in a rebuild?
Are we in a rebuild? Hey, money out of the you-know-what. Julio for a $1 million deal. All right, Dr. Evil. All right, yeah, a veteran's minimum. Right now, boy, we will run to the Julio house and we got veteran minimums for you, man. Hey, come on, man. You know. Cowboys signed Julio Jones for a veteran minimum, baby. Noah Brown is making more money than Julio. I'm going to tell you guys right now, who do you trust more? Noah Brown or Julio? Who do you trust more? Simi Fehoko or Julio? Who do you trust? Now, we know we can trust a little bit more of my guy CeeDee Lamb right now. Phil was like, nah, dog. Freezy, Todd, Noah Brown, okay. Neither, okay. I don't think, to answer my guy politically correct, we're not in a complete rebuild. You know how when I start the show and I say building the plane while it's in the air? That's what the Cowboys are pretty much doing in certain departments. Like, literally. Like, we got the plane off last season. We literally got the plane off last season. We done made sure that the cockpit was locked before anybody else can go through that. We had the escape hatch there. We had the gears. Everything was in shape. We had the new seat with the leather, the plush leather and everything in it. We even slapped some tint on our plane last season. But you know what we forgot to do last season? We forgot to put the landing gear on. We had no way to land the plane. It crashed on us. Hey, you got the plane that's flying, baby. Yeah, it's flying, man. The propellers was kind of awkward, but we was in the air, so we were soaring, you know. Hey, you got the landing gear? Dang, we've got to put the landing gear on, you know. So we had a crash landing, and we couldn't steer it into the ocean or the water that was nearby. So we crashed last season. We built everything on that plane, but no landing gear. The wheels didn't come out of the chute. Chris Flores, A2A, we've been missing for 28 years. Oh, we didn't have a Denzel Washington, man. Denzel Washington landed that plane. He was drunk. He flew that plane. He had that plane going upside down, baby. No Von Miller law. Yeah, that's what I got in the title. No Von Miller. Von Miller is going back to the champs from what I heard and what I've read. So Julio Jones is a no-go for y'all, right? I do like Jarvis Landry, though, you know, for cheap. Flight 88 gone since 1996. Trip Aces. Y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy, man. Sean Payton will fix it next year. No worries. It depends. Look, Sean Payton can help, but look, it's been a long time since he's been flying that plane correctly into New Orleans. And then on top of that, it depending on how bad of a crash will happen for the 2022 season, right? And right now, we're not flying the plane now. We're just trying to get everything going, and we got a slow start. The runway is not clear. The runway will be clear. The runway will be clearer after the draft, and maybe a week or so after the draft. Get Julio. Get Julio. Look, y'all passing on Julio. I mean, if anything, Julio will be a great situation for his development. I can see right now in Oxnard, Julio making those spectacular catches and what have you all over Trayvon Diggs, and they going back and forth with each other. But I'm going to tell you guys, if you look at this, these numbers looks very crazy, right? And passer rating when targeted was 86.7. Just to tickle y'all and make y'all angry just a little bit, let me pull up this right quick. Amari. I couldn't even spell Amari Cooper, man. What's going on? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so before y'all hit me with this button right here.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Passer rating when targeted, 122.7. Appreciate you, Karen, for reading up. Appreciate you. And
my wife feet stay on point. I trick off on that nail shop. No lie. #grownmenish.
214. Appreciate you, JR. He said, man, that's good. That's good investment. Making sure the feet, man, you're doing a good thing for your wife, making sure that those feet are straight, because the feet support the entire body. And when your lady, your queen of the Peace Corps, need to get those feet and nails done, there's no hesitation from the nation over here. You want to get those feet done? Here you go, baby. I don't even need to see the receipt. I can see the results. Get those feet done for your ladies. And you're listening to nothing but the best, you know?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Yeah, get those feet done. And ladies, if you're watching, get your feet done. Treat yourself. You know, go to the beauty salon and get your hair and nails done and get those feet done too. Ain't nothing like getting those feet done, especially when they rub the feet and massage the feet. Boy, we can do it. Thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation Film Session.
The explanation and the discussion with Peter Schaefer, the agent for Randy Gregory. What happened here, Mike?
Well, this is very simple. The Cowboys use language in their contracts for everyone except Dak Prescott that goes beyond what the CBA requires. You can go farther than the standard language, and teams typically will put language in deals that will wipe out future guaranteed money if someone is suspended. And that can be a powerful tool, especially in the Randy Gregory contract, because the way it's structured with Denver, he's got $14 million next year that's fully guaranteed. If that gets wiped out, and if he has a bad year, you can just cut him. That's why guaranteed salaries in future years are useful for players. They're insurance against having a bad year. One of the reasons Ezekiel Elliott's still on the Cowboys. The way his contract was structured, guarantee after guarantee after guarantee, his money this year is guaranteed. Right. What are we going to do? We're paying him anyway. We're not just going to cut him. We're still going to pay him, so we may as well have him on the team. Not that he doesn't belong on the team, but if he didn't have a huge guaranteed salary for this year, they would have cut him before they paid him, or they would have traded him away like they did with Amari Cooper. What the Cowboys do is they wipe out guarantees based upon even a fine under, for example, and relevant to Randy Gregory.
You heard that? They wipe out the guarantees even if it's a fine. Oh, my gosh. All right, so let me see what else trending in the news right quick while we listen to this audio.
Appreciate the substance abuse policy. This guy has a long history of suspensions under the substance abuse policy. I've been on record for years saying the NFL shouldn't care if guys smoke marijuana or otherwise use non-PEDs in their own time. It shouldn't matter. They're on their own time for 7 months out of the year. Why does the NFL care? Well, they do, and it's one of the rules. But if the Cowboys are going to hinge $14 million next year on Randy Gregory not getting fined a single time under the substance abuse policy, and then if he slips this year, and next year they can clear a quick $14 million under the cap by dumping him, he's in danger. So it was important to Gregory to not have that clause in there. And Schaefer said he gave the Cowboys an opportunity to wipe that clause out, and Gregory would have stayed with the Cowboys. Instead, they declined to do it, so he took the deal with the Broncos, who don't have that language. You know, so many teams will say, well, that's how we do business. That's how we do business. I've seen the apologists today saying, well, the Cowboys do that for everyone except for Dak Prescott. But they do that for everyone. Well, you don't have to. Nothing requires you to do it. It's not some CBA mandate that be in there. And when you have those kind of hard and fast rules, that's what causes you to potentially lose guys to other teams that don't.
So they're the only team in the league with that fine language in there about the fines.
That's my understanding. They're the only ones who do it. And all
right, so there's this Mike Florio chatting with 105.3 The Fan, Sean and RJ show. It is what it is at this point. It's water under the bridge, but we got the point now that we are the only teams that do such language in their contract as it relates to that portion, whereas fines, you take the full salary lump away from them or the guaranteed money away from them, which is crazy. But Malik Hooker official contract numbers are broken down by Todd Archer. Shout out to him. It's a 2-year, $7 million deal, max $8 million. The bonus money is 1.7. All right, so the 2022 base salary is 1.3, so he can earn or $3 million for 2023. So he can earn up to $500K in per game roster for each, plus $1 million incentives. Cap number this year is 2.59, which is a good contract for Malik Hooker. I do like incentive-based contracts because that puts your feet on the fire a little bit, and you got to move up out of there, right? So don't have the language as far as those incentives, like what need to do in order to hit those incentives. But I can tell you one thing that Malik Hooker, he's a grinder, so he's going to get out there and make something happen. Cowboy Nation. Here's the thing. What I want to say about all of this. Cowboy Nation. This particular team must get out of their feelings and get some deals done. We got $26 million. $26 million that's available for us to go out there and pick up someone. This is time now to will and deal. All you need far as signing your draft picks is about maybe $6 or $7 million because all of that money is going to be prorated and they sign. Right? So we got a slew of draft picks. I forgot who broke it down, how many draft picks we got. Let me see. I think it was either John Machota or Gelkin, but let me pull it up. Let me see, because I like the way they kind of broke it down. I think it was John. Let me see if I can find it. Strolling on down. I don't see it. Maybe it wasn't him. All right. Let's go to Michael Gelkin because I think one of those guys broke it down. If y'all have it, you let me know. Tweet it to me. If you got it. Michael Gelkin. No. Gelkin. Him. Here we go. I can't. There you go right here. God dog it. Michael, and he just don't have it with the K. It's not Mike. Okay. Did he break it down? Somebody. Yeah, here we go. All right, so Cowboys have the number 24th pick. We have the 56th pick. We have the 88th pick. The fourth round, in the fourth round, we have the 129th pick. And we have all of these numbers right here in the fifth. What we can do is essentially, and we have number 193rd pick, and we don't have no 7th round pick. All right, so what we got to do, Cowboy Nation, you see all of these picks right here? What I want the Cowboys to do is to think about quality over quantity. Don't try to get like, okay, I think it was the year 2011 or 2012 or something like that. We had like 12 draft picks on that team, and none of them made it, something like that. Look at it like this. It could have been 2010 or something like that. But Cowboys, we really need to look into this thing and utilize these picks by packaging some of these comp picks together, sliding up, moving up into the draft, and get quality over quantity. Who agree with me and who disagree? Put agree if you agree. Put disagree if you disagree. Shout out to you, Miss Scott and Pro. Y'all listen to Miss Scott and Pro. A lot of times, man, Miss Scott and Pro, man, she be, look, some people be close to the money, near the money, but Miss Scott and Pro is be on the money, baby. You know, she be on the money. I love it, you know. Not close to the money, not near the money, but on the money. And I love that. Huh? So everybody agree, okay, baby. You know, I love it. Nobody disagreeing. Shout out to you, Kenneth, man. Thank you for the cash app, man. We already talked about DC for Life. We already talked about Julio Jones available. Last night we went into details of who we would like to see. And I said no to James Washington. Somebody also mentioned Byron Pringles. I said no to him. And shout out to James Washington, though. Shout out to him. If he come on his team, I can see that he will be better than Noah Brown, by the way. And no shade at Noah Brown. Shout out to him. But Juju Smith-Schuster, that's another guy. If you like Juju Smith-Schuster, put that in the chat. But, you know, it is what it is. Georgie says Emmanuel Sanders. That's a long tooth. I think he's 35, 36 years of age. He's an SMU kid. Shout out to you, Sadiqua. What do y'all think about Emmanuel? You know, I don't know. JD from DC Law, I disagree. Dallas will package these picks up, slide back into the draft, though. You know, they'll package them together, then slide back. No, man, they got to get something in return. No to Juju. Anthony Barr will look good, too. And somebody, is he free? Is Anthony Barr free? Let me see. And Allen Robinson, that price point is just too high. If you'd have went and got Allen Robinson, you wouldn't have paid for Gallup. You know, let me see what Ant did, you know. And he got close ties to George. I see a lot of, all right, so he had 3 sacks, 8 missed tackles, targeted 86. Why he fell off so bad? Why this dude fell off so bad? Was he hurt or something? What, how many snaps he got? He got a lot of snaps. 420 on coverage, 279 on run defense. Pass rush, they even put him at pass rush, 84. So he got some snaps. In 2020, he played, man. Anthony Barr used to be the dude. What happened to him? I ain't watched this man since 2018. That's when he go back to green. So he on the street now, right? Viking D just trash. Law, Coach Marv says, Law, is Miller out? What about Curse? I don't know why. You know, how long I've been live. I don't know why. I definitely do not know why. How long I've been live, Cowboy Nation? I don't know why the Cowboys have not done anything to J-Ron Curse. Maybe, you know, you'd think that they'd have signed J-Ron right by now. Let me see. Because last time he tweeted out something, he said that, thank you, God. You know, this last tweet that he tweeted. Respect is golden. I mean, like, is he talking about a contract? Maybe, just maybe, this is the situation. Maybe, just maybe, this is the situation. Maybe he didn't play that well for us, I guess. Curse is with the Saints now? No way. Let me see. Y'all catfishing the Law. Yeah, I ain't see no news about Curse and no Saints. And the Saints, they got money issues. They can't sign nobody. They can't outbid us for no one. They got $2 million on the shelf, right? We supposed to be able to make some deals, baby. All right. Let me see. Watch. Right when I get off, I bet you there will be some breaking news right when I leave. Let me see, because Todd Archer, he tweeting out something. It's always around this hour, like when the NFL league office shut down, closed down a little bit. That's when you get some more news. Have you guys ever noticed that? All right, so Cowboys have some discussions here. Oh, we already talked about that. Former Packer pass rusher Za'Darius Smith is signing a 4-year, $35 million deal max. What? Wait a minute. I thought it was going to be for the Cowboys. He tweeting something out. All right, so, baby. Who next there? Who else out here? All right, man. Look, man, they lying, right? Za'Darius is to the Ravens now. Now, if this dude fooled around and get 11 to 12 sacks, I'm going to be like, oh, my goodness. But watch, we got Dorrance Armstrong, though. DA gonna bring us away. Oh, my God. Let me bring out my pig. Where Miss Piggy at? Where's she at? Where my little piggy at? I got a pet pig on this show, man, that we be listening to these people, and they be talking about
what matters for these purposes.
They be talking about this. They be talking about that.
Here saying, I need a huge move. This was embarrassing because yesterday I can see Jerry Jones and the family being like, look, we have something else to take care of first.
Sure.
Right.
And I can see Jerry being done with all the other stuff, sitting down, having a glass of Johnny Walker, staring into the fire, and going, you know what? We got to make this move happen now. Bring me this player. I want this team. I want to show everybody that because you heard laughing stock yesterday. You heard clown yesterday. You heard so many different shots being taken at what the Cowboys were doing that I feel like the Cowboys' only reaction is to say, we're going to puff our chests out and we're going to show you. But that does not stay the course. The stay the course is we continue to add through the draft. We add our players. We'll have good quality players. Do the Cowboys need to swing big right now in reaction to what happened with Randy Gregory?
I feel like they kind of do, but not specifically because of the Randy Gregory situation. I think you needed to have somebody on the opposite side of Tank. You look at this draft class, and when it comes to DN and specifically where you're drafting at 24, I don't think it's reasonable for you to expect to have a defensive end or an edge rush type player make it to you that you can plug and play and have an immediate impact, even anywhere similar to what Randy Gregory was giving you.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, we all understand the idea that you should not go into the draft with major holes that you need to fill that ends up putting you in bad places where you open yourself up to making bad decisions.
Right.
So for there, I think that you do need to make a big swing. And also, let's not forget that you got what I like to call the Demarcus Lawrence Memorial Scholarship Fund opened up for you.
Yeah, he did.
Because you remember that when the Mavs would do this, and Dirk kept giving money back, and I kept calling it the Dirk Memorial Scholarship Fund, even though I shouldn't call it Memorial. That makes it sound like he died.
Yeah, that is.
And he's not dead.
Yeah,
he's still very much alive.
That happened to Kevin once. He wrote in a headline the so and so's memorial, and the guy called him and was like, "Hey, I'm still alive, just to let you know." So we can just call it the Scholarship Fund.
Okay,
he's still alive.
Okay,
that's fine.
So yeah, the Dirk Scholarship Fund. Thinking back to what the Mavs did with that, I remember they gave Wesley Matthews some of that money. Wasn't that some of Chandler Parsons' money?
Yeah.
Right.
Wasn't it like some of DeAndre Jordan's money
there
too?
You go.
They're just like, just give him all of it, whatever.
And it doesn't go as far when you have a good player giving money back to try and win something and you don't get great pieces out of it. So it feels like with all of those things situated, you probably need to make sure that you get someone like a Von Miller or Chandler Jones that's going to come in and give you that effective play on the other side of Demarcus Lawrence, because that's what the expectation was, and that's what you expected as an organization. And I hope that they had some level of plan B for the situation at edge.
I don't think.
All right. see what I got right here. The Dallas Cowboys. I think they are incapable of willing and dealing. I really do think when the guy said no plan B, they don't have no plan B. They don't have a plan B. They don't have a plan B. They focus on one player at a time. It's old school. Like, we see a player that we show interest in, and we would try to go that way, right? Shout out to you, Kid Art, on the Twitch. Appreciate you, man. We'll focus in on one guy at a time, and it's like moving at a dinosaur's pace, like or a turtle pace, and I get it. You want to focus in on the players that you got already. You sign those guys up, and when there's a hiccup, you say, well, I'm through. I'm butthurt. I'm butthurt, so I'm going to sit back and chill. And we're going to go and do what we do best, and it's the draft. We're going to draft a guy because expectations are always high on drafted players, right? Expectations are always high on drafted players. And you can always sell to the public drafted guys because the unknown is always fruitful to your mind, right? You can always say to yourself that by it being unknown, I can sell you. And trust me, how many starters we had out of last year's draft, which was pretty good. Parsons started, right? Osa started. That's 2 starters. That's a good thing for the majority of the game. Then you had Ghostin to come in. So we're going back to this draft and this 4-month process of no football is eating away to us until we get a chance. And, of course, boss man, Fat Kelvin Joseph, we want to see him do something, and we want to see Jabril Cox. So we'll find out, Cowboy Nation. But I think that they focus on one target.
I think they did. And because I think that they thought all the things that they were planning to do would just line up, and then they could, go on their merry way about things and then revisit everything whenever it rolls back around to regular season time or training camp time. I don't think they had a plan B. Now, do I think that they are working on plan B now?
They better?
Absolutely they are.
They better. If you fall apart because of this, I got bigger questions.
Matter of fact, I do know that Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn are both in Athens, Georgia right now.
Okay.
Looking at what David Hellman says, the 3 freakazoid defensive linemen, the 3 freakazoid linebackers, the freakazoid wide. Which one are you looking at? And your answer is probably just yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at every single one of these guys because I need to add talent to my roster. I need to add young talent to my roster. Does it shore up edge?
Did you also mention the freakazoid wide receiver?
Wide receiver, yep. There's the safety too. Is there a cornerback safety?
I believe so.
Yeah, so they just have freaks on that team. That's the next group of, just draft one of those guys. It's like Alabama. Just draft one of those guys. You're going to have an NFL player. And that's what you have with the Georgia team right now. Kirby Smart's doing a fantastic job bringing in that kind of talent. So I'm looking at the future of this. They don't have the answer to edge right now.
Right.
But there are lots of options out there. And Von Miller is where it starts for me for multiple reasons. The fact that the dude knows how to get to the quarterback. He's terrifying off the edge. When my mind goes to Randy Gregory and Demarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons together, my mind actually excels whenever I think about having Von Miller on the other side because he's better at his job than Randy Gregory was. Still, at this point in his career, I think he's better than Randy Gregory was. And then I start thinking about some of the other players that are out there. Now, Za'Darius Smith's back is a problem. Everybody has back problems, but Za'Darius Smith's back is a little bit of a problem. But I think that he's better than Randy Gregory was. I think Chandler Jones is better than Randy Gregory was. Cowboys have that money. You just said they have that money. You can split it up in multiple different ways, but either way, you got to go out there. Here's the other thing that really is Here's the other thing that I saw Jaron Kearse tweet out, respect is golden.
Ooh.
Now,
Right.
Bobby told us yesterday on air, look, he tweets things out. Oh, thank God. He tweets things out like that all the time. He loves God. Okay.
So you can't look too deep into some of this.
But then Bobby retweeted respect is golden. And so that's another, I will take this. When you're negotiating with the Joneses, Jerry always says, don't let your money get mad. I don't think you can be emotional in the conversation. You have to be logical in the negotiation process.
Okay.
And do I believe that Jaron Kearse got the first offer and felt respected? Hell no. Your first offer that you get, you're never going to feel respected by.
That's not what the first offer's for.
But that's what your agent is supposed to be there for you for. So that whenever you get that, they say, now we're going to counter with this because this is what you deserve. We got their offer. We're going to go back to them and we can meet somewhere in the middle on this.
Who's better, Miles Jack or Leighton Vander Esch? Y'all put y'all thoughts down before I read both of these guys side by side. Miles Jack or Leighton Vander? Because I see a lot of people say Miles Jack's out there. And respect is golden, and right now the Cowboys got to erase his lipstick out of the pig. Get out the way, pig. If I call Peter, for Peter get called on me, I guess,
Fatality.
LVE trash. Jack. All right. 79 solos, 30 assists. Passer rating when allowed, like when you throwing the ball his way, the receiver or the tight end is averaging 110 on him. He had 12 missed tackles, 0 sacks, 30 stops. Okay, coverage snaps, he had 449. Pass rush, he rushed the quarterback 79 times. And his run defensive snaps on run plays was 389. And we don't care about the grades, okay? We ain't going to read the grades. All right, so let me pull up Leighton Vander Esch. Big neck. 60 solo tackles, 1 INT, 19 assists. Passer rating when allowed, when the ball is thrown his way, 86.3. 8 missed tackles, 1 sack, 35 stops. And pretty much similar. He only pass rushed 46 times. 326. So either you can go by it and say, look at it like from a scheme perspective, Miles Jack probably be better in this scheme, but Leighton Vander numbers are better. And of course, you got one team that was a winning team, and the other team, I think they won only like so many games, so it's hard to equate. The eyeball test, we have to look up film, and I have to do a whole bunch of film. But, I get it, How can you sell that? Like, if you're the agent, if you're the agent for Miles Jackson, you're the agent for LVE, you're going to be saying, look, my client is better. That's just how it's going to go. My client had an interception, and my client had a sack. That Jack guy, he didn't have none of that, And on top of that, my client only missed 8 tackles, and Miles Jack missed 12 tackles. 8 and 12 is far apart, and we had the same amount of snaps. And I'm not finna do no all 22 film and look up Miles Jack's film session and do all of that analysis for him to go to the Saints or for him to go to Green Bay or something, But if Miles Jackson is drafted on this or picked up on his team, I meant to say, I would do you guys a hell of an analysis of his skill set. But, it is what it is at this point. Corey says Jack is better, hands down, But we'll find out, where the decisions. Because remember, we got to go back and think like the Jones family. The Jones family loved the ones that they drafted. That's just how that goes. But it is what it is. Bobby Wagner, with the question mark. We'll find
But
out.
we are going to get you paid. And if they say, no, that's the bottom line, that's it, we're done, then you have two choices. Settle for what they offer or go find yourself somewhere else to play. And those are the two choices that Jaron Kearse has right now. That's the choices that Randy Gregory had. I'm not hating on Randy Gregory for making the choice to go somewhere else where he felt more respected. I do think, though, he let his money get mad, but he got the same amount of money. So he's just got a different place to go get it.
Yeah, and with the Randy Gregory thing, you knew that you were dealing with a guy who can be emotional, right?
Yep.
Right.
So the tough part about this is they felt like this stuff was just kind of the norm, right? So that this was not something that needed to be mentioned. That's what it feels like the reporting has bared out. But in the reporting, we also realized that Randy Gregory and his agent, Peter Schaefer, had an agreement with Denver, and the Cowboys were coming in afterwards trying to catch up with this.
Which is what they said to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So with that whole fiasco, and this is what 105, shout out to those boys over there, K and C Masterpiece. Here's the thing. When you allow someone to go test the market, they get influence from the market. They get things back in return where they said, okay, hey, they got this type of language in their contract. They offer and they believe this type of money for me, and I would not have this cloud hanging over my head of being put in a box. I'll never forget when I graduated from high school, I had an option and choice to go to multiple colleges. And what normally, I'm from a small town, what normally happened is that, people from my town, from my neck of the woods, go to Alcorn University. But I had two older brothers that graduated before me, and all I lived in my entire life was being compared to my two older brothers. Hey man, you did this, you do this just like them. And I was put into a box. I was only known to being akin to my brothers, right? Or I was only known for my talent's sake to be just like my brothers. So what I did was I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own legacy. I want to start my own pathway. I'm going to go to an area that's been uncharted. I don't want to go to Alcorn. I wanted to start my own pathway where I will be judged freely of not who they appeared for me to be. So your boy, after Mississippi State, I didn't get accepted to Mississippi State. Your boy went to Hines Community College. That's the only college I could get accepted to. Humble beginnings. Forget y'all who got accepted to those big colleges, And I went to Hines Community College, Alcorn Valley. I had a partial scholarship at Valley. I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to go way up there in the Delta area in Mississippi. Had a partial scholarship there. Had another offer in Southern. I didn't want to go there. And I selected to go to Hines Community College. Free 99 based upon my accolades and everything else. Went there for a semester and a half, 2 semesters. From 2 semesters, established my own identity, established my own brand, my likeness for unique to being myself, and went there to the mighty JSU, Jackson State University. Finished up, graduated top of my class under the econ degree, and it hit me. By me choosing and selecting to go to Hines Community College, knocking out all of my small courses, going straight and had a clear mind and a clear eye view, of the nature, going straight to Jackson State, already understanding, I want to get a business degree, a business administration degree, concentration econ. I went to Hines, not the one in Utica, the one down in Raymond. I went to the Raymond, Cole. I went to Hines in Raymond, not the one in Utica. And I'm glad I go to. I think Utica, is pretty good, but I went to the one in Raymond. Finished up. We only had like 9 people in our program at econ, and I'll never forget. It was hard being on my own, being myself. But it was a great feeling to not being a person that were always viewed upon as the little brother. And when I'm trying to tie this story in together, thank those who watching, that could have been the storyline for Randy Gregory. You know, all of this stuff about the mental capacity and him using stuff to self-soothe himself, you know, with the good old, you know, herb, dare I say, you know.
Smoke weed every day.
I met Randy Gregory's father, big guy, you know. That's where you get all his massive size from. And he's a very smart and well-educated man, the father. And he said he listened to the podcast. He the one pointed me out. He like, hey, Law Nation. I was like, wait, is God calling me home? You know, I turned around. It was big old Randy Gregory's father. You know, he shook my hand and it felt like it disappeared. And he said, man, I listened to your podcast, man. And one thing I could tell you, man, you always spit the truth. And I said, yeah, you've been listening, you know. And he said, my son got his own mind. He got his own decision. Everything that he done in his life was because he wanted to. But there are things that always will be associated with him because of biasness. And that's how he said it, you know. But neither here nor there, I'm quite sure that when he goes to Colorado, Denver, he would not be viewed the same as it relates to being viewed over here in Dallas. He can be free to go wherever he want to go. He can be free to do whatever he want to do without the side eye. And he would be free to do things that he would like to do without somebody saying, hey, keep in mind, boy, I gave you that opportunity, so you owe me something. Now, let's talk about this hometown discount. And it's quite strange that everybody that thought that they was going to get a hometown discount from the Jones family, thinking that they was going to get one, nobody gave it to them. Nobody. Ezekiel Elliott didn't give him the home team discount. Hey, Dak Prescott said, hey, man, I've been waiting forever to get paid. I'm not finna give you. No, I'm going to squeeze you back. So did Randy Gregory when it was his time to get paid. Not even Demarcus Lawrence. If you ever think about it, those deals all were to the max at their given time. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Who's left out there? Sheila Neal. I can tell you, it's slim pickings now. Jadeveon Clowney is the only edge rusher that's left out there. Jadeveon Clowney.
Like, isn't that what we were being told? Is that they told their free agents to go out there and get what you think you deserve, and then come back to us? Which we were killing them on Monday, saying that's a dumb approach. And if you're expecting guys to just come back and crawl into you saying, "Pay me,"
and I feel like this is the part of the reason why that's a dumb approach. You had to come and match, and now you get yourself in a situation where something can send that guy off on an emotional spiral, if you want to call it that, and you lose the player that you want. Because ultimately, the goal is to get the player in that instance. But the fact of the matter is, you do need to move on. And I'm not necessarily with you on that Chandler Jones thing.
Okay.
And I'm a little weary of the way that he played down the stretch, because early in that season, he had a 5-sack game in week 1 of last year, and then it kind of tailed off.
He sound like big game
But
day.
do we feel more comfortable about Chandler Jones or Von Miller, who's 33 years old, playing across from Tank Lawrence?
It is what it is, Cowboy Nation. All right, so I'm supposed to been off of this live feed, by the way. I'm supposed to been off. All right. To listen to that episode without pausing and rewinding, me stopping or what have you, go there, click that 105.3 The Fan, and listen to them. And be sure to give them love and adulations when you listen to them. And say, hey, man, I'm turning on my Tolo guy, what have you. And sharing is caring. Be sure, if you're watching it all the way up to this point, hit that like button for the brother, man. If not, if you're watching all the way to this point and you have not hit that like button, you had not joined the membership squad.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Here it is right here. For those who joined the nation, your name is entered into the drawing to get this Michael Irvin jersey. And I'm going to tell you, man, that jersey, you could say what you want to say about CeeDee Lamb or the wide receiver that just left, Amari Cooper or Noah Brown. You know, you can say what you want about those boys, right? Or even Dez. But you can't say what you want to say about this because he got some results, baby. He got that hardware, he put all three of them on and punch you in the face, you'll have some imprints on that face, huh? So that's the playmaker. And your name will be entered into the drawings. Coach Marv won the Roger Staubach jersey last month. And this jersey is authentic. Coach Marv can tell you guys it's real. It's a good jersey. What I want to know now is for next month, what jerseys did you guys want me to go get to give away, for those who joined the membership squad? And what I want to do in the future, I really want to grow this channel to the point and the degree where we give a jersey away every week. And then, by next year around this time, we probably do jerseys every day. I go to the shop and get legend jerseys, and appreciate you guys. Chef Mac, appreciate you. He's already declaring and decreeing. Appreciate you, Chef Mac. Thank you. He says, let the AI speak.
I want that jersey, Lowell.
Yes, indeed, Chef Mac. I hope you get it, and I thank you for that donation. We'll do the drawing. We'll put the name in the hat, and we'll see it. Owens 81. It'll take me a minute to find Owens. I had to go online to buy that one. I don't think they sell it at the pro shop, but I figure out ways to get some of those Legends jerseys and things like that. Let me check and see any other news before I go, because that was pretty much the news that I heard. Let me see if Adam Schefter said anything new. Colts acquired a second round selection. Carson Wentz. Forget that, man. That ain't no news. Shame. Ravens, okay. All right, let me check out Ian Rappaport. Or is it Ian? Ian or Ian? For those people, is it tomato or tomato? Finalized trades, all of this stuff just official. Russell Wilson, all of those guys. All right, let me check out John. Machota. Was it Jonathan?
I'm excited to get to work. What's up, Commanders fans? Carson Wentz here, just landed in D.C. I'm excited to get to work, excited to come in and compete, and, as we all know, excited to really go ahead and start to take command. What's up, Commanders fans? Carson Wentz here, just landed in...
Why he got a punchable face? He just got a face. He's like a face. He just wanted to, I'm Carson Wentz, Hey, that's just crazy. He just got that punchable face. But it looked like he's destined to be with that Washington football team. Oh, the Commodes. Oh, I'm sorry, the Commanders. Put a little respect on the Commanders' name, right? Hey, he just threw 3 interceptions already. It just seemed like he just reeks interceptions. It's just coming out of the beard, Why would you retweet this, John? Oh, he's got that punchable face. No. Yeah, look, Cooper Rush is cooler than him, by the way. Cooper Rush beard is thicker. It seems like he don't have the weak spots on his beard. Let me just pull up, because he got the weak spots right here. He needs some beard balm, some law butter. Let me pull up Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush beard. Watch how cool Cooper Rush beard. Look how cool, how cool that Cooper Rush beard. Look how he's got that masculine feel on that. Well, I can be a beardologist. If you look at the beard, thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation's Beard Camp. You see there's no weak spots in Cooper Rush beard. But there's weak spots. There's weak spots. Where his beard is? There's weak spots all over his beard. That punchable face beard. I can't wait for Parsons to come off the edge. And you guys can talk about the fact that we no longer have Randy Gregory, but I just feel like Parsons is going to come off the edge and just break him in half, and then when he get antsy feet, he's going to drop back and he's going to be looking for that guy who's not scary and not Terry anymore. It's just scary, No. He's scary, and his last name just so happened to be Terry, and I can see this like it's picked off. Trayvon Diggs to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, touchdown, pick 6, Trayvon Diggs. I can't wait to see that. Talk about take command. Yeah. All right. That beta beard. Yeah. He need that law beard butter, baby. All right. That's enough me talking some noise. I got to talk noise about the commodes. Oh, I'm sorry, the Commanders. All right, everybody, they showing a lot of love to Amari Cooper, man. They are showing a lot of love. The beat writers for Dallas, they showing a lot of love. They saying that with wide receiver Amari Cooper trade, the Cowboys officially saved $20 million in cash and cleared $16 million in cap space. The draft order is also updated. Okay, all right. So what we gonna do about it? I told you guys, we got the money now. So what we gonna do about it? What we doing about this money? Because I won't be watching the Cowboys. And let me refresh, make sure that this is the updated numbers there. Yes, it's the updated numbers. The commodes are right above us with $27 million, and we got $26 million. So what we gonna do with this money that we saved? I'm waiting. I'm impatient right now. Shout out to you, Verdi Hinton. Appreciate you. Shout out to you, Sadiq. Well, thank you for being a member for 16 months. Shout out to you, Darren, for being a member for 5 months. Shout out to the member squad. Thank y'all so much. And I'm just joking. I'm not saying I don't condone any violence out there for Carson. We hope Carson is all as well. Just for the be politically correct. Let's be PC law. We hope all is well with Carson. I'm not wishing any injury upon Carson's. I hope that he can play every single game next year or this season, and we want him at his best. See how I tied that up? I did. See how I put the lipstick back on the pig, baby? The law out here wishing somebody get hurt. No. Good karma law. Yeah, see, Chris? Right? We hope all is well with Carson and his beard game. Cowboy Nation, be sure to hit that like button. Share this content. I made it to 4 o'clock. This is about a 3-hour show almost. Go get Julio if you want with that money. Or go pick up Jadeveon Clowney. Shout out to you, Sadiqua. Appreciate you so much for your love and adulations to help grow the nations without deviations to the matter in hand. Let's go. Let the AI speak.
I want number 24 Emerson Walls.
Sadiqua. We'll see if that can happen if your name is being pulled. That's the reason why I'm a Cowboy fan, by the way, Everson. Go get Campbell for DT. That's a long tooth. Y'all look up Eddie. I think it's Goldman, not Goldman and Sack, but go look up Eddie Goldman. I think that's his name. He's a good interior guy. Dallas says, go Mavs. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Shout out to you, Jay Lombardi with the party. Shout out to everybody that watched this episode. I really appreciate you. I went straight with no commercial breaks. That's how we do this thing, huh, baby? The rhyming for your mind. Shout out to you, Chris Flores. Mel Hayes in the house. What's good with you? Jimmy Tama. Without the S, huh? Pete, appreciate you. Let's go. Landry, Hooper. Yeah, Austin Hooper is available now. I forgot to go talk about that. Shout out to you, Dallas. Appreciate you, Darryl Shap. Appreciate you. That's Mr. Passion. He won the Michael Parsons jersey. And then through the season, I couldn't even find a Parsons jersey after he won it. Let's go. Much love to you, Georgie. Appreciate you. Trip Aces. Let's go. Trip Aces seem like you know how to play some mean spade game, huh? Let's go. Matt Leonidas. I don't know. Peter, appreciate you on the Facebook regulating. Thomas, hey, Garrett, not Jason, but appreciate you. Hayden Hurst. Man, I forgot all about Hayden. Don't forget about OJ, too. And I ain't talking about the one with the knife. Howard Michael Campbell. Appreciate you. You're a Notre Dame guy, right? Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's get up out of here. But before we go, I always like to slow it down just a little bit, right? Shout out to the Chris's, man. We got a lot of Chris's in here. Rosha, appreciate you. My middle name is Chris, by the way. Law Christopher Nation, without hesitations or deviations. Let's go. Matt, what's good? It's Chris Nation now, baby. Let's go, Asmodeus. Yeah.
Take a drag of my cigarette. Breathe me out, breathe you in.
Yeah, yeah.
Take a bite of
Sean, appreciate you. Brandon Ross, thank you. Mendoza on the Facebook. Inverting.
Don't let the street lights lead you all alone.
The Pawn Stars Cowboys. I feel you. Nobo's royalty.
Don't let the street
Money out of the you know what? Shout out to you. I follow.
Wherever you go,
I want me some tacos. I'm getting hungry. Shout out to you, Edgar. Alan Poe. Troy Aikman. 8. And another one. Shout out to everybody that's watching. What we tell them, baby? Shout out to you, Bobby King. In honor of Demarcus Lawrence. Let's see this. Yeah. That boy calls that one out.
if a paper crane can fly.
Shout out to you, Jeff Smith.
So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far.
Caden, appreciate you, my brother.
So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
Remember this one right here, Cowboy Nation. Always remember this one. And that is the reality of it. That's the word of the day. Keep that in mind.
Be your biggest fan.
And also,
when things are really tough and they're really rough and
truth.
nothing's working, but there's
it's
something
the hardest
inside of me
pill
that
to
says,
swallow.
I just have to follow that
Put that one down. Let's go. Yeah.